welcome. Look, before we get even started, I'm going to try to make sure this sound is together, as this is still our trial and error period. I'm glad that you all are giving us some grace, so you may hear an echo in the back, but you won't hear it for long. The goal is to hear the echo. What I need, oh, there you go, the echo. I am so grateful. I am so excited. I mean, I did everything right. Probably gonna mess up at something, right? But I'm so excited to have you here with us tonight. Convo with Nikki, the podcast, episode 4, consistently growing and moving in this space of technology, in this space of greatness. I am so excited about all the things that are happening here. Yes, you can make comments live. We have someone in the building that's going to help, making sure that questions are answered. This is a very interactive podcast because the goal is that we are here for you. So those that are viewing us on YouTube, thank you so much. Those that are listening later on Anchor, thank you so much. We are here. We are in the building. If this is a space that you think that you want to be, you have a story that you want to share, and you want to share it transparently, covered in love, and expecting healing for you or whoever is listening, this is the space where we understand the transformative things happen through transparent conversations. And I'm super excited for you guys again to join us on tonight, because you can do anything on a Friday night, and you chose to hang out with us, and we appreciate you. I'm super excited to get into who our guest is tonight, but I won't go any further because we got some house rules, right? So our house rules are, I need you to go do what? Subscribe. I need you to go subscribe. And when you subscribe, I also need you to cut on your notifications, because you don't want to miss what happens here. We may have a guest. You don't want to miss those things. We have announcements. We have dope things that happen here. The goal is to start doing some pop-ups next month. I ain't going to tell you about it. You just got to wait and see what that look like, right? Also, for those that are watching, I also need you to like, right? Hit the thumbs up about this video. Make some comments, right? Share this video with your friends. These are the things that we need. I don't care if they're your enemies. Just share it with them too. Right? Come on in the room, because we understand that the numbers matter. We have an understanding. That's not our only goal, but we do understand, right, that the numbers matter. We understand that the numbers matter, and we want you to be a part of our family right here and Come Over Nikki, the podcast. We would be remiss if we did not talk about the sad things that happened this week, because it happened and it affected us across the nation. And it made a call out for mental health. I think one of the things that was a bigger takeaway for me was that not just mental health as a whole is a thing, but mental health and men is a thing. And the lack thereof, or not really having their own safe spaces. But we're going to change that on tonight. We are going to have an amazing guest in the room. But we first want to have a commercial break. And so here we are with our commercial break. Stay tuned.
I'm Clara Presley, America's favorite career cheerleader, and I help individuals pivot personally and professionally towards greatness. Are you feeling stuck or even stagnant in the workplace, unappreciated in your household, or unsuccessful overall? I can help you create a life you want, a life that you actually love. .com. I'm Clara Presley, America's favorite career cheerleader, and I help individuals pivot personally and professionally towards greatness. Are you feeling stuck or even stagnant in the workplace, unappreciated in your household, or unsuccessful overall? I can help you create a life you want, a life that you actually love. For more information, visit ClaraPresley.com. Tara Presley, America's favorite career cheerleader, and I help individuals pivot personally and professionally towards greatness. Are you feeling stuck or even stagnant in the workplace, unappreciated in your household, or unsuccessful overall? I can help you create a life you want, a life that you actually love. For more information, visit tarapresley.com.
We are back. Thank you so much for again coming on back in the room, sitting with us on the couch. We are with Tremaine Boo Neely of ProProductions RVA. So even this, as I opened up, I didn't want to go too much into detail about how we got here, or kind of the things that I really just kind of want to also welcome to conversation in the couch. One of the things about coming into Convo with Nikki, the podcast, is the requirement is that you're transparent about whatever you come and talk about. Right. Because the realities are people have been masking who they are, the things that they endure, the places that they are, and it hinders growth, right, or helping of other people. And so if you don't follow him, please go and follow him on Facebook, and then follow ProProductions RVA on Instagram. But he went live Thursday, and those who know that on that day, Stephen Twitch, is said that he took his own life. And it literally sent kind of this crazy, like, whirlwind around to the people. People's hearts, people's spirits immediately went to check on your strong friends. Go call the people. Go call and check on people. And I'm not against that process. I'm not saying don't do that. My position, I also did a live that day, and my position was so much grander. However, one of the things that I took into consideration is that we as women tend to be, it's free for us to talk, right? Not that we don't deal with depression, not that we don't endure our own things, but women, we just have a space. Most women have a space where talking is our thing. Sharing what somebody asks us is our thing, right? Men, on the other hand, there is this weakness attached to when you speak. And so in his live, one of the statements that he said is that I am not okay. And as a friend, I had a whole position. However, as a person that understands that statement, we got to another place.
Right.
And so he also welcomed this piece in the conversation. And so I'm grateful for you to even create a space where as a man, you can sit with a woman, right, and share how you got to this place. And so he told me nothing was off limits. We ain't go deep down. This is not for ratings and kicks. So if you have questions, if you want to ask questions, please do so on the live. This is an interactive live. However, this is also what I've created as safe space. So if you come for him, I will send for you. And that's where we at.
Me too.
It's probably better if I can. So as a man, when you hear the word mental health, what is your immediate thought?
Mental health, first of all, you're thinking about the well-being. Whether it's you or someone else, is really geared around towards well-being, how you feel, mm-hmm. how you are affected, what's going on around you that triggers those things that upset you, those things that make you happy, sad, or whatever, those things that you can and cannot talk about. Mm. And so, for me, I went live on the video Thursday, and I was talking, and it really was therapeutic for me to just start talking.
Yeah, you could see your transition in the video.
And I was talking, and I said I just wanted to be honest that I was not okay. And be clear, for me, it had nothing to do with Twitch.
Right.
because I had some other things that were already going on this week. But I saw when it happened, I was alerted that it happened, and I saw some people post, and some people understood where we were coming from as a community of, oh no, not Twitch, when others simply don't understand. Growing up, we had this stigma that if you committed suicide, you were just going to hell. Point blank, simple, in church. Not realizing, I don't know if it's true or not, because what I'm realizing is some people honestly can't help the way that their mind begins to process things and how it affects them and what it sends them into. And so what does it mean for a person that can't comprehend what they're doing and what's happening to them if they take their own life? And so what I realize is that we as men, we hide behind work, we hide behind events, we hide behind the what has to be done, and I don't have time to hurt. I don't have time to be sick. I don't have time to go down. I don't have time to heal because I got too much to do. I'm a man.
They're depending on me.
Right.
Yeah.
They're depending on me. I'm supposed to be the strong one. And that's what the hype and the stigma has been.
Yeah.
For us for all of these years. But what happens to a man when a man is beat down? When we're tired, when we're exhausted, when mentally we don't have anything else to give. And so we need an outlet.
Yeah.
Prayer is great. I believe in the power of prayer, but I am also learning to believe in the power of a therapist.
Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. I am in agreement.
Because if we truly say God created everything and everything was created from God,
He gave them the wisdom.
He gave them the wisdom as therapists.
Yeah.
Because for me, I feel like you can trust the therapist because the therapist, like, they went through something to be a therapist. I went through a process to be an engineer.
Right.
They went through a process to be a therapist.
Right.
Their job is to help. That's what they do. My job is to help as an engineer, to help you sound good. Their job is to help you deal with your emotions.
Right.
So I'm starting to learn and figure out that it's okay. Shout out to the therapist that I reached out to. She reached right back out to me.
Really?
Yeah. I think I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be in good hands. I'm not going to put her name out there right now, but I'm going to talk about it after I talk to her. Y'all mind your business on that.
Mind your business.
And so I just need my brothers. I promise y'all I'm not crying. Something really done flew up in my eyelid. I need my brothers to be okay.
Yeah.
I need my friends to be okay. I need people that I don't know to be okay.
Yeah.
And right now we're not. And I think some of it has to do with what's passed down through generation.
Yeah.
I feel like some of it is passed down due to what we're taught, what we've seen.
Because the strong man don't cry.
Because the strong man don't
cry. The
cry.
way you was, and I'm using this moment, and so don't take it the wrong way, but you immediately was like, I'm not crying. But if you were, it would be okay.
It would be okay.
Right? I think that there's a space of when you see your daughter fall, you immediately go to grab her, nurture her, coddle her. When your son falls, the immediate response is, boy, don't you be crying. Nobody got time for this. And and I'm not saying you in particular. Right. I'm saying as men, that's the reaction. Right. Because somewhere generationally, that was not okay.
Right. And I think the other part is important to know is that at 47, I have earned the right to cry. Because you can't tell grown people what to do.
Right.
And I'm grown because I got a whole address and cars that's in my name. Like, you can't tell me what to do.
Right, like, right.
I'm gonna cry. Right. Old school. I'm gonna stick my tongue out and I'm gonna cry.
And does it make so where was your first time hearing, right? Boy, don't cry. Or men don't cry. Or Don't be crying around me or any of those sayings. Because 47, you'd heard it at least once.
You know, it goes back to my father. And I don't think he meant no harm.
Right.
But, hell, you failed. Get up, boy. Come on here. Like, about that crying.
Yeah.
I'm in the pump.
Yeah.
Come on here. Like,
immediately.
Right. And that's where it comes from. And so you looking at him like, but bro, I'm hurt. Like,
I'm bleeding. It's actually a cut right here.
I lost all the skin off this knee, and my jeans is ripped. And you talking about
and they wet.
And
it's bleeding.
Right. And I'm limping.
Right.
I'm dragging my leg, daddy. Alright.
And the expectation was for you to go back to work.
And
right? Whether it was to ride the bike, whether it was to play the football, whatever it was. And so as I really think about men in a space of when they endure, even if in grief, right? Even in grief, the next thing was to go back to work.
Yes.
Versus them enduring grieving processes.
But, you know, we do that even with sickness, though.
And do, yeah.
Who got time to be sick? When your daughters got all these bills that they keep compiling in front of you. And who got time to feel bad? Like, I got to take whatever come over the counter. So who got time to go to the doctor and get another bill? You know what I mean? Yeah. So throughout our life, we are taught to keep moving in spite of what the cycle is in our minds. Not realizing that 47 years from the time you 2 to the time you 47, you done heard all this stuff that you're expected to house for 45 years.
Without saying anything.
With no outlet, no release. Like, what are you doing with that?
So did you come from the generation of, because this is where I came from, what happened here, stay here. Right? What happened in this house, stay in this house, don't go out here telling my business. Right? And so it created a space of, if I had said, for me, right? Because I'm younger than you. I just want people to know that I'm younger than you. Right? So in my younger, that was what my experience was. Right? So when I went out, even in creating these alliances with other adults who could have possibly offered me a way to communicate or some tools to be able to handle the things that I endured in my house, I couldn't, because the rule was, what happened here, stay here.
Right. Well, so mine was a little deeper. It wasn't just what happened in your house. It was what happened in your family. What happened in your church.
Okay.
You know, even your counselors and stuff at the boys club, man, don't go ahead and tell your mom and them that, you know, I let y'all fight, or that such and such was fighting.
Immediately secrets.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, there's all these things growing up that tell you, don't talk, don't say, don't do. And then, you know, that famous one, I ain't no snitch.
Yeah, the way that's so stupid.
So
snitching is
I was okay with that when I was younger.
Cool.
Now at 47, excuse me. Yo, he did it.
Him over there.
Like, I can't not go home.
But I also think that snitching, the word itself, was something totally different from what the kids in this generation trying to make it mean.
Right.
Right? I think that there was a culture that was saying that, hey, within this situation, let it be. But if it was a murder in the community, somebody should probably say, especially, and then you want somebody to say someone is your kid. But you won't say nothing about nobody else's kid. You better sip that drink.
Shout out to Smoothie Queen Shay.
Smoothie Queen Shay.
I think that mental health has to be addressed amongst men. I think that we have to learn to talk, to not hold it in. And when I talked about snitching, let me go back for those that say we got off. I talked about snitching and things because we can't continue to carry the burdens of other people and carry the secrets hidden in our hearts and our chests. Now, please believe, even with the counselor that I'm going to talk to, some things that I know will die inside this body. Because you just can't tell. Some of us can't tell everything that we know. It's just not a good idea. I am not about to make a R. Kelly record. I admit it. I'm not admitting nothing.
I don't know how R. Kelly got in here.
Terrible idea to make that album, but Just my opinion. Just my opinion. It was a terrible idea to admit that whole album. Shame their mind. Listen,
but go ahead and so back to
please,
Boo and his process.
Please talk. Please get it off your chest. Please get it off your heart.
Yeah, in a way that's
Please
safe.
get it off your mind in a safe manner, other than feeling as though there's no outlet, there's no hope, there's no future, there's no need in being here. That's not the case. We've seen too many movies glamorized. We've seen too many of our friends. Then when we see the celebrity that take their life, we're like, oh no, well, why didn't anybody help? Well, we didn't know them to help them.
Didn't know a thing.
But we got people that we know.
And it's right now.
That we know are hurting. That we haven't reached out to.
So did you see, and this is only because I know you are we both follow some of the entertainment stuff. So did you see Lil Romeo? Well, he's probably not Lil no more. But did you see Romeo's post?
I saw what he said to his dad.
To his dad. So if you didn't see the post, Master P posted and literally was kind of just paying respect to Twitch and his family. And his son came right behind that to say, how dare you give homage to somebody else you don't know, and you have children enduring some of the same processes that could lead to those same things, and say nothing.
Tough. It was a tough moment for several reasons. Two that stick out is, one, you've always seen the Millers, not just Master P, but the Millers.
The Millers.
You've always seen them as a strong family. The brand has always been strong. But then, two, you saw a child openly admit that their parent didn't have their back and ultimately didn't have their well-being in consideration. And that was hard because of the respect factor that you have for the hustle
of the
that
brand.
you've seen
of
the brand.
Yeah.
And so when you hear stuff and you see stuff like that, man, you kind of like, not that you want to pick a side, but it's just hard for me to see, because for me it's kind of like the Cosbys. They were the epitome of the black family.
They were?
That we knew. Only for all of this to go down, and it's like, wow, Bill Cosby wasn't
who we thought he was.
But we forget that he was human.
The way, I'm so glad you said that. I think in most cases, people have forgotten that these people that has gotten to this place, they were human.
They were human.
Pastors that you sit with, and when they mess up or don't do right, they are human. I'm not taking away their accountability. I'm not taking away their wrongdoings. I'm not taking away any of those things. I want to just remind people that even as I get to my international place, I too am human. Right? Yes, I'm speaking of things as though they already are.
Come on.
And so when I get there, right? When I get to Boo going, when he gets to the heights, we have to remember that the people are human and stop charging them with this place of the inability to mess up.
Right.
Or they don't, or because they mess up, they have decriminalized all things in life because they didn't continue to reach your standard. But the realities are, you all have created unrealistic standards of people in a place of authority, leadership, role models, all of those things.
Yes.
And it's unfair.
Yes.
And it's unfair.
My take on church, from growing up in the church for so many years, who people are in the pulpit is not who they are in the real world. And some of the lives that they live in the pulpit are not the lives that they live day to day. Which is why it's important, and I'm not to offend anybody, but I think it's important that whichever God you decide to serve and choose to pay reverence to in your life, then you need to know that God for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And not fall apart when the pastor gets in a scandal, because the pastor never admitted to being perfect.
Mm-hmm.
They only admitted to being the pastor of your church,
or serving a perfect God, not them being perfect. Yeah,
right. And we can't allow what a pastor or someone does in the church to influence how we feel about, but that's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole nother podcast. That's a whole nother podcast for a whole nother time.
I know somebody needed that just now, and I felt the need to say it. But I'm grateful that I spoke up.
I was definitely grateful.
My phone went absolutely crazy with person after person just messaging me like, "Hey man, listen, that helped. That I needed that moment that you had, and I agree, and I can never tell anybody how I feel." And I'm telling people, well, I appreciate it, but yes you can.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. In 2022, you should definitely talk to someone. And it just so happened yesterday, I just chose to talk to a lot of people all day long, up until about 12:15 last night.
Wow.
And then I stopped answering my phone and stopped answering messages, and I woke up to about 19 more messages. And so I picked up where I left off this morning.
Because the reality is people want the help.
Yes.
One of the things that I realized in conversation recently, though, is people want help but don't know who to trust in those spaces, right? So, Boo and I talked today, and like I said, I follow him, but we have also, and y'all will hear about it in a little while, have formed a friendship, and it's continuing to grow. It's new, but it's growing, right? And so when I talked to him, I said, "So how are you?" And his response was, "I'm all right. I'm okay." And I had to take another moment to be like, yeah, I don't want that answer. Right? Sometimes in friendships and relationships and sisterships and brotherhoods and any of those things, you got to start knowing the person you're dealing with.
Yes.
Right? So as a friend who was asking, it required me I had to go a little further. However, the person who is in the need, we don't know how to help if you don't be honest. Right? So as he talked about, his friend group has become the size of a keychain, and he told me it's a small keychain. In those spaces, once you narrowed it down, you have to be willing to release so that you can have a space of friendship.
Yes.
Right? Because we can't help if we don't know.
Right.
That's the other part in this space. Like, yes, check on your strong friends. First of all, who made them the strong friend? How you know they strong?
Right.
I think we forgot that part too. Right. Check on your strong friends. You usually check on a person that you see to be strong, but how do they see them? You know what I'm saying? So every strong friend, you should have taken that opportunity to just check on the people that are close to you. The other part I heard another laugh at, because people went crazy, was learn to observe and not absorb the things that people offer. Right? So when you can't handle that stuff, when you can't handle that pressure, that's actually Cara Presley. So y'all go check out her post and delete. But when you can't handle the stuff that your friends have to deal with, sometimes don't go ask nothing.
Right.
No, check in with you first. Understand where you are first.
Right. That's very true. If you don't have the mental capacity to deal with what I'm dealing with, don't add it to your plate. Cause I'm not trying to tell you my burden to hurt you.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you my burden to heal. So if my burden is going to hurt you, then don't take my burden. Like don't even ask me, like,
what's wrong?
You okay? Don't.
Because if you can't show up, what benefit was that? If you can't extend what the need is, what was the benefit in really asking?
Right. One of the things I find most funny in life is when somebody loses a loved one. First thing we are quick to ask is, do you need anything?
Oh God.
But after we give you the answer of what we need, it's like, oh man,
Or you better than me. Or realizing what you need. I remember I got so many phone calls, and I was grateful to the people that checked in on me when I lost my mom in May. I was very grateful. But people reached out and wanted answers to a question that I did not have an answer to. I didn't know what I needed.
Right.
I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know the way I done been to a million repasses. I never forget. I laid on the sofa and somebody said, "So what a repass?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know," because I did not. It literally was not in my thought process.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I talk about that, I don't offer that anymore.
Okay.
I am either I'm going to show up or I understand my capacity. And my capacity right now, when it comes to losing a parent, is very minimal. So I'm probably going to send a card, or I'm going to do something that requires me not to show face, because that's still a heavy place for me. Like almost like I can feel their energy. So I choose to understand where I am and I fall back.
Understood.
You know what I mean? So that's it's in the knowing.
Okay.
So when are you the friend that checks on people, or have you reached your capacity of help?
I am the friend that checks, but I check on people before there's an issue.
The daily check-in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, bro, I don't want nothing. Just want you to know, like, yo, we good. Like, we ain't got to talk every day, but we good. Hey, girl, hey, you, just checking on you.
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm that guy. My phone checks on people. My phone checks on people because I check on people.
Yeah.
But what I have found is if I don't pick that phone up and check on people,
It's something about the way them numbers don't work on other people's phone.
like, we ain't got no two-way situation.
I'm telling you.
And I think that was the beauty in having a chirp phone back when the Boo. What you doing? You know, just hit the button.
Immediately. Right, immediately.
Just hit the button.
People do need immediate gratification, though. That
Check
is
on
some
me.
of the spaces. Yeah.
And that's what I said on the live yesterday.
Yeah.
Check on me. And if you can't check on me, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Just, like, stop. For real. Like, let's stop telling people, let's not be fake anymore. Like, I don't want to do that. And that is one of my honest pleas with people moving forward. If you're not for me, if you're not for my mental health, if you're not going to help me be better, leave me alone. While I'm doing this, shout out to my wife, Valencia.
Hey, Valencia, girl.
Thank you so much for allowing me to come over here and have this moment on this couch and talk to Nikki and talk with Nikki. On the podcast, I don't neglect or negate that, you know, you holding it down with the kids while I'm over here talking. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for taking care of them babies. So before we close, 2 questions. First one, what is next for ProProduction RVA?
What's next for ProProductions RVA? I will be starting a gospel battle rap crew.
You were serious? I think he's joking because he said that earlier and messed me up. So they gotta have 2 scriptures.
No. What's next?
This is why.
We're preparing for the winter. So, of course, things are going to slow down. So we're going to take this time to really revitalize the shop.
Okay.
Clean up a lot of equipment. And then focus on spring, fall.
Okay.
I'm okay with not doing a whole lot in the winter because of the climate and the effect that it has. You know, trying to load out 3 o'clock in the morning with ice on the ground is
no fun, huh?
It's no fun.
So, to a man that's watching, 3 things that you could leave him, what would it be?
Surround yourself with positive energy. Have a safe place you can go. Mm-hmm. And the 3rd thing would be trust yourself.
That's good.
When you know you're not okay, admit that and get yourself some help.
Good.
Trust yourself. That would probably be the most important thing.
That was good.
Trust yourself that you know you need the help. Get that help.
Surround yourself with positive people. Find you a safe space. And trust yourself.
Yes.
Those 3 things are really... That was off the top of his head. And it ain't no half there. I'm just telling you, that was... Those 3 things.
Yeah.
I would lead them to anybody. But definitely, I wanted a man to lead some with the men. It's relatable. So before we get off, before we close tonight, we got an announcement.
Yes. Yes, we do.
2023.
2023.
Just us being us.
Yes. In 2023, just us being us, Nicole and Boo Neely, we will be starting a national mud wrestling co-tag team competition.
That is not the announcement. You know,
you don't never let me have no fun in this group, huh?
The way the people would have been looking for us to be wrestling in mud.
I'm talking about us wrestling and other people. Don't worry about it. Yo, we starting our own podcast together. We will be talking about everyday issues, life. We will be having some days where we have special guests. Some days we will not, because we are more than enough to carry a show together.
Facts.
Every day's not gonna be Christian. Some days we gonna cuss. Some days we gonna act up. We gonna have pastors on the show. We gonna have drug dealers on the show. We gonna have chefs on the show. We gonna have.
And this is exactly how the show gonna go. He gonna be talking, and I'm gonna be just like
life
this.
Coaches on the show. We gonna have boosters that can teach you how to put the hanger in the back of your shirt and get out with the good FUBU.
The reality is the goal is the goal is to really for real have everyday conversation just like this. More mental health, more really for real. More.
She's gonna be more on the. Don't worry about it.
We're gonna have a good time. This is our personality all the time. I'm excited though. Somebody gave it to us, and they gave it to us as a space of a one-shot wonder. We done created a whole platform to travel and go to events throughout the city. So if you need podcasters, if you want some interviewers for your events, hit us up. And
we coming live from a couple of places in 2023. We're gonna be going live in some of the smaller venues and just showing y'all what the culture is around.
Yeah, it's stuff to do here. And we're also going to create our own little vibe for people to come on out and show up. And I understand that Shay Creates Vibes will be a part of Live from the Living Room. Ooh,
shout out to the
we can't even tell you about that. But, Boo Neely, I am so grateful and I'm so thankful for you being a part of tonight. I do not take it lightly that you stopped by and took this time to talk and help. I appreciate you.
God laid it on my heart to just come in and be a part, and I thought it not robbery to be a part of the show, and I would just ask that you all continue to pray for us and pray for me as I continue this journey.
Please pray for me, Lord. What is that in your? Why you grab that?
Because my hands ash. I was about to.
You remind me of Brown.
You can't put lotion on live. You can't go live with lotion. Live with lotion. Next show. With lotion.
We would like to again thank our sponsorship for tonight. Shay Creates Vibes. Y'all can add her on Instagram. She does direct orders. You can put your orders in her DM and she will deliver them.
Smoothie
or
Queen.
You can come right onto the CWN brand where she is hosted. Where she is housed. I'm sorry. She has 3 amazingly infused smoothies. Smooth Missile, Vibes, and Floaty Woody. You have to find out about them to understand them. But she took her time to actually find out about the things that are in these smoothies. And so I'm grateful to her for seeing us fit right here at Convo with Nikki, the podcast, to support us tonight. Again, also we want to thank Cara Presley, who also allows us to use her commercial as a place and a platform to share her business. If you are a business owner, if you are not, if you just want some order in your life and you want a brainstorming session, she is actually doing them right now for a very low cost. Reach out to her at carapresley.com. And again, go on over to ProProductions RVA right there on Instagram and follow the page. One word. And before we leave, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to my studio audience tonight. We had a studio audience tonight. She was very quiet. I'm grateful to her, but my baby girl was here. And I hope that she understands that she makes me proud.
Shout out to Cliff's Corner Store and Christmas Supplies.
Ouch.
For the decorations back here. Cliff's Corner Store and Christmas Supplies. Located
I thank y'all so much.
Located at Cliff's
Good night.
Corner Store.
Good night. Good night. Good night.